Thank you, Laura, and good afternoon to everyone on what is a historic day for the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and golf fans around the world. I'm pleased to be joining you all on site from John Deere's world headquarters in Moline, Illinois, just down the street from TPC Deere Run, where we will play the 51st edition of the John Deere Classic this week. This is a historic tournament with winners that include Jordan Spieth, past and future Ryder Cup captains Steve Stricker and Zach Johnson, Payne Stewart, and yes, former PGA Tour Commissioner Dean Beeman. The John Deere Classic has contributed nearly $150 million to charitable causes in the Quad Cities region since its inception in 1972. I know Keith is on site at another great event in the Horizon Irish Open this week. Now, in November of 2020, the PGA Tour and DP World Tour entered into a strategic alliance. This was a big step for our two organizations as we established a collective priority of working together for the betterment of all of our members. It was clear from the outset that this was a powerful agreement for both sides. Two separate memberships and organizations working together, generating value across a number of key commercial areas, and beginning work on a more coordinated global schedule that would benefit our respective memberships and fans around the world. Tangible and historic examples of that schedule and commercial work will be on display next week with the first ever co-sanctioned events between our two tours, with the Genesis Scottish Open and the Barbasol Championship, followed by the Barracuda Championship the following week. Our work together in the strategic alliance has not been easy, but clearly has been worth it. And I want to credit Keith Pelley and his team at the European Tour Group for their incredible commitment to this effort. The more our teams have worked together, the more one thing became clear. We are better working together than separately, which is one of the many reasons why I'm thrilled today to announce an expanded partnership with the European Tour Group. As part of today's announcement, I'm pleased to confirm that each season throughout this 13-year expanded partnership, the top 10 finishers on the DP World Tour will gain access to the PGA Tour, becoming full members and competing alongside the best players in the world. Before I turn it back over to Keith, I'd like to end with one final thought. The game of golf is rallying. Our members, partners, and fans are rallying. Today's announcement should serve as further evidence that the ecosystem of professional golf continues to innovate and thrive. On behalf of the PGA Tour, I want to thank the European Tour Group for their support and incredible partnership over the past 2 years, and I could not be more excited to see what the next 13 years will bring. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. And welcome to everyone joining us on the stream. I echo Jay's comments that this is a historic day for both our tours and for golf fans around the world. I will expand on the reasons why shortly, but firstly, I know many of you have been waiting to hear from me, and believe me, I have been just as eager to speak to you. However, as I said to our members, there is a good reason why we have not spoken so far during what is undoubtedly a polarizing time in our sport. I wanted to be able to speak freely to all of you and to be able to answer the many questions I know you have. Firstly, as you know, we purposely took our time to evaluate our stance in relation to those players who willfully breached our regulations and played without releases in the live event. That clarity was provided in our statement last week. But secondly, I wanted to be able to give you the full picture in terms of the future direction of our tour, which I could only do by sharing with you the hugely significant announcement we have made tonight. As you can imagine, it is not a simple or a quick process for two complex members organizations to reach an agreement such as this one, which benefits the range of both memberships as well as the wider framework of professional golf. But what we outlined today undoubtedly does that. I'd also like to personally thank you, Jay, and for your kind words and your team at the PGA Tour for your unwavering commitment to this process and to our partnership overall. The PGA Tour have been terrific partners since we signed the strategic alliance back in November 2020, going way over and above how a normal equity partner would act. Our first co-sanctioned event, the Genesis Scottish Open, will be the strongest regular tour event in our entire history. 14 of the top 15 players in the world teeing it up, leading to the current strength of field number of almost 670, with the winner receiving 70 points. I believe unequivocally that with this deeper partnership will now lead to even greater strategic opportunities for both our tours in the future, as well as for our existing partners on the Sunshine Tour, the Emirates Golf Federation, and the ISPS Hand at PGA of Australasia, providing a more global vision for golf with increased resources. For our members specifically, those opportunities will include guaranteed prize fund growth, a clear pathway for our members to the PGA Tour, and access to the new international events, which Jay announced last week. The extension of our already strong partnership, and with this additional investment, provides us an opportunity to transform our tour. We will now spend the rest of the year working with members of our tournament committee and our partners at the PGA Tour to refine and improve our entire schedule for 2024. At times when golf is at a crossroads, this operational joint venture with the PGA Tour provides our members with long-term sustainable plan and guaranteed growth. Because today is the first time I've spoken publicly on this topic, I know you will have a number of questions for me in relations to Live Golf, such as, are we doing this announcement because of them? Well, while this closer collaboration between our tours was always in the roadmap of our strategic alliance, it's pretty obvious to say the current situation in golf has significantly accelerated that process. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that is not the case. In terms of other questions you might have about what is happening in our sport, while today is about the incredible partnership we have with the PGA Tour and the benefits that relationships will continue to deliver in the months and the years ahead, I'm also to happily talk candidly with you to address some of the misconceptions that have been abounded in recent weeks. Before we take some questions, I'd like to close by saying it has never been more important for us as a tour to protect, respect, and recognize the ecosystem that those before us have built across the DP World Tour, the Challenge Tour, and the Legends Tour. Today's announcement does that. We are extremely proud of our tour's history over the past 50 years, and I'm honored to be the chief executive of this great institution. As I said to the players less than an hour ago, I care passionately about delivering the best possible environment for the truly genuine, decent, and incredibly talented and hardworking members of our tour. That will never change. And through our expanded partnership with the PGA Tour, I believe we are well positioned to continue to do that. In a world where people in many walks of life are struggling, and there is a high level of uncertainty, our joint operational partnership with the PGA Tour gives us a degree of security that is almost unimaginable. Simply put, we are stronger together. Totally open for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Keith, and thank you, Jay.